So here in this problem, we have a rational fraction and we need to resolve it into its constituent partial fractions. So let's begin. So first what we'll do, we will suppose that our given rational fraction, which is 4 divided by, we have in the denominator x plus 3 times x minus 1 whole square. Now here we have 3 factors in the denominator. One of the factor is x plus 3 and x minus 1, that's repeating twice. So that's why we have 3 factors in the denominator, and this would mean that this will get resolved into 3 partial fractions. The first partial fraction will be a over x plus 3. The second partial fraction is going to be b over x minus 1. And the third partial fraction will be c over x minus 1 whole square. We're going to label this as equation number 1. Our task is to find out the value of a, b and c, these 3 constants. So first, we can easily obtain the value of the constant a and constant c by using the cover-up method. So let's use the cover-up method. So cover-up method, what we have to do is look for the partial fraction. For instance, this is the first partial fraction that we are considering. If we look at its denominator, that's x plus 3. So that factor must be present in the left-hand side or the original rational fraction. So x plus 3 is present. So all we have to do is to find out the value of a. We take the original rational fraction, which is 4 divided by x plus 3 times x minus 1 whole squared, and we're going to cover up the factor x plus 3. So we're only left with x minus 1 whole squared in the denominator. And what did we do? We here covered up x plus 3. Now covering it up means we are going to equate it to 0, and solving for x is going to give us a value negative 3. Our goal will be to replace the value of x with negative 3. So as that we get 4 divided by negative 3 minus 1 whole square, and this will be equals to 4 divided by, so negative 3 minus 1, so that's negative 4. Negative 4 squared will be 16, and this finally gives us 1 over 4. That's the value of our first constant. Then we cannot apply the cover-up method to the second partial fraction. That's because if we look at its denominator, which is x minus 1, although the factor x minus 1 is present here, but we have 2 factors of x minus 1. It's x minus 1 repeating twice, so we cannot consider it completely. So we have to go to the next partial fraction, the third one. So here we will be covering up the factor x minus 1 whole squared in the original rational fraction. That means we are now left with 4 over x plus 3. Now what we do, we covered up here x minus 1 whole squared. So we will equate x minus 1 whole squared to 0. And when we solve for x, we're going to get the value 1. All we have to do is now substitute this value of x with 1. And that's going to give us 4 over 1 plus 3, which is simply 1. So we have successfully obtained the value of our first and the third constant. So a value came out to be 1/4 and c is 1. Now what we'll do, now coming back to equation number 1, so let's try to simplify equation number 1. So what we'll do, equation number 1, we're going to multiply throughout with x plus 3 times x minus 1 whole squared. That's going to give us 4 equals to x minus 1 whole squared times a plus x plus 3 times x minus 1 multiplied to b plus x plus 3 times c. So that's going to be our third term. Now what we can do, we can immediately observe that this equation is an identity in x. So let's do one thing. So let's say if we consider, since an identity in x, so if we consider x to be equals to 0, then this entire equation will then become 4 equals to, so we have 0 minus 1 squared, so that means positive 1, which will be a, plus we have 0 plus 3, so that's 3. 3 times negative 1 is, so we have 3 multiplied to negative 1 times b, and the third term will become 0 plus 3, so that's 3 times c. We have 4 equals to a minus 3b plus 3c. So we can substitute the value of a and c with the respective values. So we have 4 equals to 1 over 4 minus 3b plus 3c. So c value is 1, so we have 3. So let's find out this value. So we have 4 equals to, so 1 over 4 plus 3, so that will be 13 over 4 minus 3b. So solving for b, we have 3b equals to 13 over 4 minus 4, which is going to give us 3b equals to, so we have 13 minus 16 over 4. So 3b will be negative 3 over 4, or b is simply negative 1 over 4. So we have successfully obtained the value of a, b and c. We will substitute this back into our original equation, which is equation number 1, and we'll get the desired resolved partial fraction. So let's do that. Thus the final value will be, we have 4 divided by x plus 3 times x minus 1 whole square. So that will be equals to, the value of a is 1 over 4 times x plus 3. Then since b is negative 1 over 4, so we have negative 1 over 4 times x minus 1, and c value, that's 1, so we have 1 over x minus 1 whole square. And this is the required result. We have successfully resolved the given rational fraction into 3 partial fractions.